Right then guys, another early morning. So I'm going to do a cheeky little half day on the pond today because I've got to get ready for my holiday. So I got a few things I've got to do. Give the dog a good walk, get everything ready in the house, pack, all that kind of stuff. So that end of things, what I'm going to do today is, again, there is my pond in all its glory. I am absolutely buzzing with that. Did forget a tiny bit of tape there. So realistically, I want to chamfer the top if I can. That was my celebrationary can last night for doing the whole pond. Chamfer the top and insulate this. So as long as I can insulate at least the walls in here and chamfer the tops on that, I will be a very, very happy man. So this is a little bit complicated to do, but I'm sure we can do it. That pipe is quite close to that wall, so I'll have to do a cutout section here when I'm putting the insulation on. So that wasn't a mistake, me putting the pipe so close. I had to put the pipe there to get them uniformly spaced on that wall. So the space between each one is exactly the same. So I didn't want those to be too close in the centre, so that was the compromise, which is not really a compromise. It's not going to be seen. Once all the media is in there bowling away, that will not be seen. So guys, I'm going to get right to it now. So let's get on it. Hopefully I've got enough stuff to do everything I need to do. Here we are, guys, going quite smoothly, to be honest. Lovely day. It's not too cold, it's not too hot. It's absolutely perfect. I'm hoping I'm going to get a day like this for fiberglass, and it's absolutely lovely. It's about, what, 18 degrees, something like that? 16, 18 degrees. Lovely. So anyway, let's spin you around. I haven't quite finished, but I'll give you a little mid-stage video. Oh, this stuff makes me sneeze. So here we are. I decided to put little fillets in the corner as well. Why not? Make sure I don't get any sediment in those corners, which I didn't think I was going to. But I've just cut the floor fillets. They're not quite long enough, but I'll situate those, and then I'll put some little packers in the corner or something or other. Done a reasonably good job of that. So obviously that's where one of the pipe fittings is going. So we're going to have a 90, a 90, a T section, okay, then with a ball valve and the pump up or down. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll work that when we get to it. So obviously I'll have the ball valve before the pump, so if I ever need to take the pump off for any reason, I can just close that ball valve and that isolates the pond from this here. And obviously we've got the 2-inch pipe going, cutting all the way through to the air source heat pump. That is going to come into its own at some stage very soon now. So I'm going to use that as pretty much the shelf to fit the stainless steel guard on. So I'm really looking forward to getting the stainless steel guard on. Now I've got this all in situ, I can actually cut it. Well, I'm not in a rush to cut it, but I can cut it to go in there and fit real nice. So when I do the fiberglass, and I'll probably end up putting a couple of little chocks there and there, so the actual the guard sits on it, if you know what I mean. So we'll work out something. It's not rocket science, that bit, but that will provide a little chamber with clear water. So obviously all the media will be bubbling this side, and then the pump will be pulling clean water from the other side, you know. But I'm still going to put the guard on the back of the pump as well, just for a fail-safe if anything does get over. Who knows? Yeah, so let's crack on now, guys. Get this last little bit in. But yeah, looking pretty nifty. Oh, right then, guys. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Yeah, I quite like how that's turned out. That looks lovely. But that's all of this pond done, and the floor. So I decided to do the floor because it's all clean and all dry, so I may as well. So what I've got there is two very large Awaz air stones. They're really good quality. They come with their black rubber pipe as well. So the rubber pipe will come up here, and then I'll pin it on the wall, and it'll come across somewhere. Well, it'll come out where I want it to come out, basically. And then yeah, they are actually 1.5 inches in diameter, so I'm going to have 2.5 inch brackets, which will be Secoflex to the floor of that, which will hold those in place. Now, with those two working, I'm absolutely positive, and I'd actually put money on it that there's nothing, no sediment's going to rest in the centre of there. We've got a real nice slope on each side into this main trough down here. With the upflow from those two, it's always going to churn up anything that's on that bottom. But, you know, what we'll do is at the end of the season, I'll probably isolate this, empty all the media out, and have a little inspection. It'd be interesting to see if that has worked. But, yeah, I think that's the best way to have done it. But yeah, quite happy with that, guys. It's worked out quite well. What I'm going to do here is literally fiberglass right up to the top here. Haven't quite decided what I'm going to do on the top here, but have some ideas. I'm not going to disclose those yet, but I do have some ideas. And I tell you what I'm going to have to do actually is drill a hole in that corner all the way through so I can actually put my 2 rubber pipes through, because I'm not going to be happy with pipes cutting across the top there. So I'm glad I've put those down there, because that's actually really jogged my memory about doing that. So just run the air pipes from the corner cutting across, so so all my air pipes are all situated over there. I'm gonna have my 2 Fuji Max up on display by here somewhere. Obviously when the door opens on the filter, that will determine the height of the Fuji Max. Yeah, so getting close to be able to fiberglass now. So the next couple of jobs I'm going to do is, because I'm going away and I don't want any rain to come in here, I'm going to put a couple of concrete blocks on the periphery of this rubber, just in case it's windy when I'm away and it doesn't pull up. So I'll just put some concrete blocks quite gently around the periphery there. And what I'm going to do as well is, in this gap and in that gap, I'm going to put a temporary little window in there, so nothing at all gets in there, apart from the only thing that I'll have possibly is down there I get a little bit of ingress with water coming into the pond. But I'm not that worried about that now, because we've got all of this done. So fish are looking absolutely fantastic. Look at that sank, guys. Thank you very much, Exclusively Koi, for that. I'm really excited to see the prospect of that. Yeah, fish are looking fantastic. Fish are looking really nice. Still got a couple on the way from Japan, but I think what I'm going to do, guys, is when this pond is up and running, I'm going to put all my grow on fish in here, and also all of my main pieces in this pond. It's just going to be no problem. It's definitely not going to be overcrowded in there. And yeah, and I think I'll hold off on buying any more fish for a while until the new season, get the quarantine up and running again. And I've got a bit of an idea for next year, guys, which involves you people. So anyway, we'll talk about that when the time comes. But a few other little jobs today. Let's get this done really quick, and then if I've got time, then I'm going to cut and chamfer these in properly and cut the tops, and just put my last bit of foil tape over those. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to chamfer these. I'm just going to go straight up. Lovely. And I'll just seal it with a bit of CT1 or something on the top to make sure it doesn't ingress into the stones. But the pond height is going to be about here anyway, so should be not too shabby. Right, guys, I have done what I can do to secure the roof and the walls. I'll spin you around in a minute, but I'm just doing all my holiday prep now. So I've cleaned out my Oise drum. Not that it needs realistically cleaning, but I've just got rid of that little bit of sediment in there. I've cleaned the 2 windows, so the water's a little bit murky at the moment. I've put the trickle on in just right, so it's going to keep everything ticking nice. Filled up the 2 auto feeders, I'm going to do a little check for the KH on the main pond in a minute, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just chuck a handful. Well, I know the KH is about 4 at the moment, so I might chuck a handful in there, little handful in the grow on pond. I'll tell you what else I've been doing. What I have been doing, guys, is I've got some onion sacks and I've put 200 litres of K1 in there. They've been in there for about a week now, so they're just resting. The koi really seem to like it, to be honest. The koi just sort of like sit underneath them. A few's escaped there. I've just like turned it upside down, but yeah, so I'm just getting that condition basically, just so I can put, I think I've got 120 litres in the awas. I've got 100 there, so at least I'll have 250 litres kind of matured-ish. Well, a lot matured in there, and that at least is going to be neutral, so it'll actually start tumbling straight away. When I come back from holiday, possibly will put some more sacks in there, to be honest. The fish seem to really like it. They just like settle underneath it like it's, I don't know, something to play with, I guess. But what I have done as well, guys, is here. So as you can see, this is quite secure now. I've secured it all the way around here, because what we do get, I do get a little bit of water ingress here. So that actually does secure across. I'll just leave like that. I get a little bit of water going in, bouncing into there, because it comes down, bounces off the side here and goes in. So what I might do is just extend the height of this one here, just so it flaps down there. Not too worried about that side. That's normally all okay. Yeah, guys, so, but it kind of gives you what it's going to look like when I've got the doors on and the window there. It's quite nice. Do you know what I mean? It's even though this is all open, it's still a nice sheltered, secluded part of the pond here. And obviously in winter time, which we're coming into, so the pond should be up and running by winter, definitely. I'll have all of that will be covered. So effectively, the whole pond and the filter house is all inside. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to run much heat this winter at all. I'm going to keep it about 10 degrees, I think. I think I'll sit at 10 degrees very comfortably in here, especially with all the heat that all that polycarb is going to generate. I don't think the air source heat pump is going to kick on a lot at all, to be honest. Maybe on the very coldest days, but yeah, so that's the plan anyway. Like last winter, I was really running at about 18 degrees, and I'm not going to lie, guys, I did get quite a lot of growth from the fish. But this year, I've got actually quite a lot of balance to get rid of. So I'm going to sit at 10 degrees, and I'm going to feed the fish balance very sparsely, very sparingly, just to keep them ticking over. I don't really want them to lose any weight, but I'm not really worried about them growing over the winter. I just want them to be safe. So yeah, maybe a little conditioning, 4 months will do them good. 3 to 4 months will do them good, and we'll see what the new year brings. But anyway, buzzing with my my progress. It's still reasonably young, so I think what I am going to do is I've got to take the dog for a bloody good walk now. What I might do is just the tops of this in here, give everything a real good clean, just sweep up this. Fish are extremely happy. It looks a bit cloudy now because I've just cleaned all the windows, so there's other crap come off it. But give this a sweep down. Like I said, that's all secured there. My pump house is absolutely fine. Cleaned the window. I tell you what's growing like a good one is my old mind your own business. That shower system is working an absolute treat. So if you can see there, I've got a bit of salt still in the pond, so that's why I'm 480 TDS. Pond's at 20, 19, 20 still. My pH is a 7.5, so I know for a fact that my KH is about 4 at the moment. Okay, when that goes down to about 1, 7.1, 7.0, I'm on hovering about 1 kH in this water. So yeah, so that's the score there. A little bit messy in here, but yeah. And then what we've got here is The love of my life, the pond of all ponds. Wait for it, they haven't even realised there's food there yet. Here they come. Look at that, guys. What a pond. Absolutely love it. The chags, they were the smallest in there, and the chags now are fastly encroaching, being the biggest. So they are phenomenal growers, and I do think I've got two really beautiful chags there. I've got real nice scalation on them. They're picture perfect, to be honest, and the reason I've picked those is because I don't know what it's called, but the leading edge of each scale has got a really dark edge to it. So one's slightly darker than the other, but they are absolutely, wow, they're gorgeous, to be honest. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those grow. I've got a really light kwaku in there as well, and I'm getting quite fond of it. That, you know, hopefully that Saroji is going to really stay bright, and yeah, lovely jubbly. But we've been cleaning this now for a little while, so what I like to do is just give it a bit of a push. Be really careful with this, guys, because I sliced my fingers, something terrible on this, and I think it might be slicing on those little bits there. But anyway, let's give this a bit of a flush. Well, in fact, that's been bubbling now for ages. So I'll tell you what I do as well, guys, is every time I clean the pond, I purge the bottom. So you see the crap coming out of there, I wait till it goes clear, which is now. Close that off, lovely jubbly, and I've just broken that lever, and then that pulls out, and we give it a flush, and then from there, then just get the hose in there, give it a good clean, and then we fill the pond back up, and then the trickling, which is just down there, takes care of the rest. So every time I clean this, guys, once a week at the moment, the bottom drain gets a good purge. Once these fish actually go into this pond, I'm actually going to change the setup a little bit. I'm not too happy with, I'm going from a 3-inch bottom drain line to an 1.5 inches. I didn't think it was going to make much difference because it's just going straight into the easy pod, but it makes a massive difference. So what I am going to do is take that off and change it to a 3-inch all the way, and then I've got another little inlet down there. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't run this pump very fast, I'm going to make a bypass so I can shoot some water mid-return to really get these fish, you know, on the grow a little. Do you know what I mean? Because at the moment they're not getting much exercise. They are, because the when the air goes on, it really kicks up a lot of turbulence, and they are actually they are doing well. But absolutely fantastic. Look, there's the chags. Look, fat buggers. So when I go away now, I'm going to stack some more timber up by there, so there's no problem of coming back and anything hanging down off, you know, down here. I want them all to stay in that pond because I absolutely love those fish. And those fish, when they're all 50 cm next year in my main pond, well, I can tell you now, there's a mixture there between Sakai Fish Farm, Danichi, Hoshkin, Taniguchi, Koda. I don't know what else is in there, but there's some pretty special bits and bobs. That is a pretty special pond, and I wouldn't like to think really how much money's worth of fish is in there at the moment. Probably an impressive amount if I was going to buy them now at that size, because bearing in mind some of the Sakai Tozai I bought last year, and they're over 30 cm now, and I'd hate to think how much a real nice Sakai Sank or a Sakai Kawaku is at the moment at 30 cm. But anyway, guys, the old easy pod filling up again. Like I said, not massive flow, but I must say it's worked fine. So I do turn that pond water over once every hour, which is kind of absolutely perfectly fine. So even though I haven't got much flow in that, that's the maximum flow that I'd want to put over it anyway. So not quite sure why I want to change it if it's broken, but give me something to do maybe next year. Yeah, who knows. So that's on timer obviously with the air, and then let's put this back on. She's a pulling. There we go. So again guys, the timber that you can see saturated there will be all changed. I've got in the other pond what the temporary backing shower is sitting on at the moment is stainless steel 3/16 angled iron, which will be sitting there. So yeah, absolutely fine. Like I said, it looks a bit scruffy at the moment, but it's doing the job absolutely brilliantly. 40 or 50 kilos of pumice stone in there, and it does look really nice and mature as well. Like I said, something's happening there good, because the fish are thriving. They're not even surviving, they are definitely thriving. My little blue is working really well. Yeah, really good. Got this heater on, it's still at 20. It's not that expensive, to be honest guys. People do slag them off for being expensive, but I think the reason that's not expensive is because this room is so thermal efficient. It's mental, like, you know what I mean? It really performs well. So anyway, that's these boys and girls done, ready for holiday. Just gonna build up that a little bit more, and then that's it for them. Again guys, filled up my auto feeder, because they do get through it. That's just the overspill for me filling that up. Cheers old Keith for my sticker, bless him. And these are the actual stainless steel supports that are going to be used on that pond eventually. But that's working lovely guys. So simple, there is just no excuse not to have, you know, a little backing shower, you know. Look at that. That is just, it can't get simpler than that. 3 boxes. They're all getting saturated with water, if you can see. It's fantastic. Brilliant. Just as it would be in the wild. But anyway, guys, all of the parameters in this pond is absolutely fantastic. It always has been, to be honest. I'm really pleased with this pond. Apart from, well, I'm making another one. Yo guys, so that's me situated the outlets all correctly. What I'm going to do is, obviously they're all lovely and secure in there now with pretty much, I'd say probably 1 mil raise. So it's going to be quite nice, that is. What I have got to do is, I've got a stencil cutter. So I'm going to cut around here, just leave about, I don't know, 15 mil of film around it, and then cut the rest out and really rough it up for the fiberglass to sit on it. Where I've pulled the pipe through, that's a little bit sharp there. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a small, I don't know what you call it, like a little drum sander. So I'll just round that off, 45 degree all the way around. So if any fishies smell in there, they are not going to hurt themselves at all. I've cut the sides now nice and tight and nice and level. I have got another little piece to put in there, to be honest, but I'll do that again. I don't want to do that because I keep walking in and out. So basically, my 1 meter window is going to sit actually flush with the top of that. Okay, so I like my window to be exactly the same height as my coping stones. I don't like it when it's underneath. So I'm going to sit it high here. So that means that I've got a little bit of extra tolerance here. So I'm going to put another section of foam just sitting in there all the way. And then I've got enough room to bond it all in then. So that's another thing I've got to do. Yeah, so pretty happy with all my progress, guys. Like I said, I'll really take my time and seal in and around all of these. So I'll cut, when I start going now, fiberglassing wise, I'll cut nice little fillets of fiberglass, put it over, get a little brush, get it into here real diligently. Because I think the first day, what I'm going to do is just hit all the walls with a nice coat of fiberglass resin. Leave that go off and then get in here and fiberglass the lot. So I am going to fiberglass the pond myself. I have got a little guest coming down to help me. We're just going to hang out for a couple of days and fiberglass the pond. But like a gentleman, he came to my aid when I got let down. So consequently, the guy that was going to fiberglass the pond actually did reach out and say, oh, I apologise. Can we do it in October? But I don't know. I get a lot let down once by someone. I can't get my head around maybe getting it done again by that same guy. So anyway, hats off to him for coming down to help me and jumping on his white stallion to come down and help a damsel in distress. Right, guys, I'm totally in holiday mode now. It's probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I got to leave for the airport at 3 o'clock in the morning. Got to go and walk my dog. Done all my filters. Done all my pre-stuff. I'll just come down here tonight now. Just have another little mooch around. Make sure everything's okay. Got to empty my truck. Got to give my truck a little bit of a detox. And then, yeah, ready to pick up my mother at 3 o'clock. Oh, how cute am I taking me mum on holiday? Oh, mum, I love you.